それでは改めまして、明けましておめでとうございます。明けましておめでとう。
Whoa.
ルカ君ちおへぎおいしいね。ほんと？僕とかがりさんも手伝ったんだけど、そう言ってもらえてよかった。
I'm sorry, but I need to see this image for a second in its entirety. Holy shit. Whoa, that's so... Okay, that's an elegant dinner. That is an elegant dinner if I've ever seen one. Also, I kind of like Fubuki's pose she's making right there. I am really enjoying the pose she's making, but this is an awesome image. This is a really cool image. Yeah, I'm just admiring this, actually. I'm just admiring this image for a few seconds. Holy crap. And Ferris is fucking adorable. And, oop, nope, wrong button, wrong button. Let's get back to the game.
えへんなんて、私は盛り付けただけなんだけど。私、この甘い卵焼き大好き。くるくるってなってるの。
こっちのお雑煮も絶品すぎる。鈴葉、どうだお？
美味しいね。
実はメイクインニャンニャンのお正月メニューなんだにゃ。
もちもちで柔らかい。フェイリスタンの味がするお。
What?
橋田さん、本当に変態さんですね。
Fubuki was barely putting any efforts into her comments to Daru anymore. A whole day of this perversion must have tired her out.
アメリカだったらセクハラですぐ訴えられるわよ。そういえば、アメリカのお正月って何を食べるんでしょう？
さあ、七面鳥じゃないのか？
Well, there's actually no food that most people eat on New Year's, from what I can remember. Okay, let's see what Maho responds to this with. And then I'll say a little bit because, well, I can say some stuff because I am from the country of America.
それはクリスマスじゃないですか？
That's also Thanksgiving, but you can have turkey on, Christmas. I've had turkey on Christmas before, but it's usually ham.
アメリカじゃ大晦日に騒ぐから、年が明けると意外と質素よ。豆料理とか。
Beans! Beans! That's the closest thing you could say? Beans! All I can say is, okay, the party part is correct. We always like to party. But there's always food at a party. There's always freaking food. And it's usually like party food, like the simplest things to make or the simplest things to order. So most of the time it's either pizza or candy that are at New Year's parties and sandwiches. So yeah, there's no actual food that Americans eat on New Year's, really. Well, okay. I'm half wrong, half right. Like, it depends on the area. Like, the area I'm from, there's no discrete food for New Year's. It's mostly just hanging out with friends and celebrating New Year's. I'm sorry that I went on this topic, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about it because this was an interesting thing that they decided to pull up in the game. But beans? Beans? Are you serious?
豆料理って響きにときめくお年頃。
Oh! Well, some people do eat that sort of bean on New Year. I'm sorry.
橋田さん、本当に変態さんですね。
ほら、ないにゃん。この栗きんとん、おいしいにゃん。
こっちの黒豆も栄養価が高そうでいいね。
そんなにたくさん食べられないよ。
慌てないでいいから、よく噛んで食べるんだよ。かがりさん、お母さんみたいですね。やっぱり人が大勢いると楽しいね。
そうだな。
How long had it been since we'd all had this much fun at the lab? No, that was in the Alpha World Line. Which means that this may have been the first time in the Beta World Line that we'd done something like this.
にゃ、お茶ってこれだけかにゃ。
The party hadn't started that long ago, but evidently, we were already out of tea.
兄さんが甘いジュースばかり買ってくるから。
お茶がなければコーラを飲めばいいじゃない。
おせちに炭酸は厳しいですよね。
じゃあ俺とダルで買ってこよう。
I couldn't let the girls go.
ここは私とふぶきちゃんで行きますよ。
私も
お呼ばれしてるんだもの。それくらいしないと。
しょうがない。それじゃあ行ってきます。適当でいいですよね。
そうか、すまない。助かるよ。
There was a very brief silence after Kaede and Fubuki left. But then, someone's phone rang.
ごめんなさい。私だわ。
Oh, okay. Even though Okay, in the last episode, I forgot to say this earlier in this episode, I'm sorry, my mind was all over the place, but I had to really realize that Maho didn't go with the professor, she actually went to the party. I thought she went with the professors last time, oops. But no, she's at the party. I should have said this earlier, but I went ahead and just wanted to point this out now that I actually thought Maho went with the professors, but actually no, she's at the party. And I'm happy she's at the party. She took out her phone and checked the screen, then looked at me.
ねえ、岡部さん。今、アマデウスにアクセスしてもいいかしら。
え？
着信。あの子からなの。それに、あの子がこの状況の中に入ったらどんな反応を示すか。それもいいサンプルになりそうだし、ダメかしら。
それは。
マホさん、マホさん。アマデウスって何かな？
It's too late, Okabe. You gotta let her, show them Amadeus. The next thing I knew, the call from Kursu had stopped, and it said everyone was listening to us.
特定の人間の記憶データを内包したアーティフィシャルインテリジェンスよ。
アーティフィシャル？
AI のことだにゃ。 AI とはエンシェントインテリジェンス。古代に失われた大いなる知恵のことなんだにゃ。
アーティフィシャルインテリジェンスだってば。
自分で考えて学習するように作られたプログラムのことだお。でも特定の人の記憶がある AI ってことは、それって誰かのコピーってことじゃね？
果たしてそれがコピーとなり得るのか。それを現在進行形で検証しているところよ。
それがアマデウスってわけ？驚いた。そんなもん作ってるなんて。
ルカ君わかる？僕にもさっぱり。
Why would you ask Luka of everyone, Mary? Why would you ask him?
見てもらえば早いんだけど。
She glanced over at me.
俺の映らないところでなら。
わかった。
She sighed and reached towards the icon on the smartphone with her finger.
え？スマホで起動できるん？
本体は大学のサーバーにあるんだけどね。簡易的にアクセスできるようにしたの。
Daru was staring down at the screen with stars in his eyes. And as soon as I heard the voice from her phone,
もう先輩ったらどうして出てくれな。
amazing face of Daru, but holy shit, you can't do this out of nowhere!
おお、すげえ。
先輩じゃない？誰ですか？
僕、橋田至。なんなら僕を先輩って呼んでくれてもいいのだぜ。できれば赤く頬を染めながら上目遣いでやろう。
He's already doing this to Amadeus.
どうして私が見ず知らずのあなたを先輩なんて呼ばなければならないんです？あなたは一体？驚かせて悪かったわね。あ、先輩、今の人は？橋田さんといって岡部さんのお友達よ。今日はお正月でしょ。それで岡部さんのラボラトリーでお友達とパーティーをしているの。ああ、あの冷たい岡部さんですか。先輩もあの人との付き合いはほどほどにしておいた方がいいですよ。じゃないといつか捨てられちゃいますから。まあまあ。
There was ice in her words. She must have been really mad. Well, I guess I could understand why.
というわけで紹介するわ。彼女が私の後輩、マキセ・クリスの記憶と人格を持つ AI、アマデウスよ。マキセ・クリスって？
もしかして
The Hashida family's voices rose in unison. That's right. Those two knew about Kursu. And they knew what happened to her.
マキセ・クリスさんって確か半年前くらいにラジカンで。
Oh no! Does Amadeus know?
マキセ・クリスさん、この人が。
もしかして皆さんオリジナルの私のことをご存知なんですね。
あ、いや、まあ。
心配しなくても大丈夫ですよ。私、オリジナルの自分に何が起きたか知ってます。
Okay. I thought she didn't know. For some reason I thought she didn't know and they were trying to avoid the Amadeus to learn what happened to her original. Okay.
あ、そうなん？
That was easier said than done.
これってゲーム？
Nai seemed to be the only one who didn't get what was going on. But for now, I was glad of that. Her words broke the tension that was building up in the room.
ゲームじゃないわ。私は AI。あなたと同じように自分で考えてお話ししているの。
っていうか、本当の AI なのにゃ。すごすぎるにゃ。
すごいのは私を作ってくれたマホ先輩です。
Aww. Everyone was staring in awe at Kursu as she answered their questions. I started to regret this. I shouldn't have let Kursu talk here. I shouldn't have made them all remember Kursu. I need to end this conversation as soon as possible.
ヒアジョーさん。
あら？
The second I spoke, Maho emitted a small cry of surprise.
どうしたん？
アマデウスがいきなり消えてしまったの。
Oh, here we go!
アプリが落ちたんじゃね？まあ、そういうことだってあるっしょ。
そうなんだけど、再起動してもサーバーに繋がらないのよ。
サーバーのデータ更新とかは？
そんな話聞いてないわ。
ここのネット回線は落ちてないみたいやけど。
Pause. Oh my god. That's the most clever cat speech I've ever seen in. That is the most clever use of cat speech I've ever freaking seen. Connyanction. I can't even pronounce what that's. I cannot pronounce the genius behind that form of cat speech. Like, that word in cat speech, I can't even pronounce that. That's how genius that is. That one word. That is so fucking genius. Holy shit. Kudos to the translators of this game, because that is actually one of the best things I've ever seen of cat speech in a translation. That is one of the best ones I've ever seen. Ferris had tried and succeeded to connect her own smartphone to the web.
おかしいわね。今までこんなことなかったのに。ねえ、岡部さん。あなたの方でも試してみてもらえない？
いや、俺は。
I don't think Kursu likes me, but before I could end my sentence, I heard a crash.
ごめんなさい。
Kagari had evidently dropped a glass. Little fragments were spread out all over the floor.
お姉ちゃん、大丈夫？顔色悪いよ。
Nai called Kagari oh, wait. I guess that makes sense since she is younger, but... Huh. Very interesting.
ありがとう。ちょっと疲れたのかも。あ、でも平気。ごめんね。すぐに片付けるから。
あ、かがりさんはじっとしてて。僕が片付けますか。
It was in the instant that Luka stood up to get the broom that I heard the sound.
動くな。
25% CG is unlocked. Is this the time to get an achievement? Armed men stormed into the room out of nowhere. Nobody knew what was going on. They were all wearing strange masks. They were all holding guns. Some of them had assault rifles.
なんなのこれ？何のサプライズ？
The sight brought that nightmare back to me. Mayuri's brutal murder, which I've seen again and again and again and again. I thought I was okay now. I thought everything was over. Was this because of the world line change 2 weeks ago? Mayuri.
騒ぐな。
Mayuri's going to die again.
おかり、怖いよ。
騒ぐなと言っているだろう。
Whoa. A bang. A black hole in the floor. It's okay. That was just warning shot. But it was enough to snap everyone out of their terror.
それ、本物かよ。
岡部さん。僕。
No! Don't do anything to tick them off! They were serious. They killed anyone they didn't need without mercy. Suza! What was Suza doing? It was no good. Nai was clinging to her legs and keeping her from moving. No. Maybe there were just too many of them for her to do anything about. I had to do something, but my legs were shaking too much for me to manage anything helpful.
とにかくみんな落ち着いてくれ。
そんなこと言われても。
いいから落ち着いて奴らの言うことを聞くんだ。
I'd gone through this more times than I could count, but it was still all I could do to speak. But evidently, my desperation had gotten through them, because they stopped panicking, clumped together, and simply waited for the intruder's next move. I heard the sound of heels from behind the armed men. A woman's footsteps, coming up the stairs. Was it here? Moga Kiryu, is it you? Are you going to kill Mayuri again? But what appeared from beyond the door was... woman's with riding suit. I'm just gonna move on, but there's so much wrong with that title. Oops, wrong button. A woman in black. She wore a skin-tight motorcycle suit and a black helmet. I have to say, she looks kind of hot. The black visor was pulled down, and I couldn't see her face. It had to be her, though. But if it was, what did they want? Last time, it was me, Daru, and Kursu. But Kursu was gone. Did that mean they were after Maho? Oh? The woman silently looked around the room, and then walked over to us and reached out her hand. She grabbed She grabbed Why am I laughing? She grabbed Kagari's arm and yanked her forward. They were after Kagari? But why her? No, there was only one reason they want her. Did they know then? That Kagari was from the year 2036? Kagari struggled, but that woman was stronger than she imagined, and she was easily pulled away. Mayuri and Kagari reached out their hands, but they both grabbed nothing but air. What do I do? What should I do? If I moved, Mayuri would... everyone would... Then, did I have to just watch as she was taken away? Oh. Here we go! There was suddenly a scream from near the door. By the time I looked over, the second man was already falling to the floor.
Oi, oi. これ一体何の騒ぎだ?
Action hero, Mr. Bronze here!
ブラウン氏!
くそ!
Before he could turn his gun around, Noji had grabbed his hand and twisted upwards. I heard the dull sound of snapping bone. The men screamed, the men seemed unsure of how to handle this sudden intruder. One of the men decided to run toward us. He reached for what looked like the weakest member of our group. Normally, this would have been the right choice, but this time, it was the worst choice he could have made. With speed that you would never imagine from someone so huge, Zenoji closed the gap between himself and that man in an instant, slamming him into the wall. When they saw him bounce off and hit the floor, the others became deathly pale. And then Suzuha, whose legs were now free of Nae's grasp, moved as well. Grasp. Can I see that again? No, I can't see that again, but I'm gonna replay that. A thin, muscular leg. The exact opposite of what you expect to see from Daru's daughter, lashed upwards, straight for the motorcycle suit's woman's neck. Bam! The woman blocked the kick with her arm at the last moment. But when she moved her hand to block, she let go of Kagari.
Kagari!
I reached out my hand and quickly pulled her close.
Okabe-san.
Realizing the tide had turned, the woman leapt out of the lab in an instant, clutching her injured arm. The other attackers followed suit, carrying their injured fellows. In a moment, the chaos was replaced with silence.
Okari.
Mayuri's quavering voice brought me back to reality.
マユリ、無事か？他のみんなも大丈夫だったか？怪我はないか？
Daru, Suzuha, Ferris, Luka, Nai, Maho, Kagari. Their faces were drained of color, but none of them seemed hurt.
大丈夫。もう大丈夫だ。苗のことはちゃんとお父さんが守ってやるからな。
I have to say, Tenoji was a badass in this scene. When they saw the Tenoji family clinging to each other, everyone finally sighed with relief. But still.
おい岡部、説明してもらおうか。あの連中は何だ？
いや、それは俺にも。
I didn't. At first, I thought they were with CERN. But if they were, there was no reason for Tenoji to be here. Yugo Tenoji was actually FB, the leader of the Akihabara Rounders. Of course, it was possible that someone working for FB, Mocha for example, had acted without his knowledge. Everyone tensed as the door opened again.
ただいまー。いっぱい買ってきたよ。
遅くなってしまってごめんなさい。吹雪ちゃんがあれもこれもって。あれ、どうしたのみんな。そんな怖い顔して。送っていただいてありがとうございました。
いや。
Of course, after that, the New Year's party was cancelled. I knew Mayuri had been really looking forward to it, but none of us were up for partying after that. I told everyone I'd give them an explanation another day. For now, I decided to send them home for safety's sake. Everyone but the Tenojis walked with me to the station. Those who were taking the train home split up with us there, and the rest came with me to Yanabashi Shrine. Who was that message from? Got here safe, Mia! Thank you! Thank you! Aww. Feliz! Daru, Suzuha, Luka, and Kagari were the only ones left.
つけられてなかったか？
大丈夫。ずっと注意してたけど、おかしな気配はなかった。
そうか。
Oh, someone else is safe. Mary, in Ikebukuro. Wait, come on. Come fucking on. Again with this shit. Maybe that's a group chat. I hope that's group chat. It's not a group chat. I hadn't seen anyone suspicious at Akihabara Station either. If they were CERN rounders, I would have expected to see them everywhere. I told the ones who'd taken the train to go straight home and contact me when they got there. Several of them already had. Speaking of, the devils. Mayushi made it home fine. Why are these two separate conversations? They made it home just fine. Is this Mayuri again? Blush. Why are these separated? Ferris's messages weren't separated, so why is Mayuri's? Huh. Blush. I told Mayuri in particular to send me stickers on Rhine at regular intervals. She'd been doing that, so she was probably okay. Mayuri. I get the point. Oh, Maho! No problems. Same thread! Same thread, why? But that didn't mean I was out of the woods yet.
やっぱり私が狙われたのかな。
おそらくな。
連中、かがりたんのこと知ってるんかな。
だろうな。
I didn't know if they were with CERN yet, but it was safe to assume that they knew Kagari was from the future, and that's why they attacked her.
ごめんね。私のせいでみんなまで危険な目に遭わせてしまって。
君だけのせいじゃない。
She was brought here from the future at a young age, and then she went missing. She was another victim of fate, like me.
でも本当にいいんですか？警察に届けなくても。
すまないが、今はまだ。
Maho and the others had asked me the same thing, but I managed to get them to hold off. Part of the problem was that I didn't think they believe us, but the biggest issue was Kagari. If we told them that they were after Kagari, we'd have to explain who she was. We couldn't tell them the truth, and even if we did, they wouldn't believe us.
で、これからどうする？
とにかく連中が何者かわからなければどうしようもない。
じゃあ、私たちだけで突き止めるってこと？どうやって？
それは。
To be honest, I had no clue. The world was full of groups who would want a functioning time machine if they knew it existed. Russia, America, China, and even Japan. If I couldn't find out who they were, the same thing was likely to happen again.
方法は明日改めて考えよう。それよりもルカ子、頼みがあるんだが。
はい、なんでしょう。
すまないが、今日から鈴葉も一緒にお前のところに泊めてもらってもいいか？
私がルカ兄さんの家に？
ああ、かがりを他で預かってもらうのも考えたんだが、ここの方が人数も多いし、防犯設備も整っている。
They had security systems to keep people from vandalizing the place and robbing the donation boxes. Just taking a quick look around, I could see that there were cameras. And this was Kagari's idea to begin with.
かがりもここの方がいいんだろ？
I could understand that. She was already in an unstable state after losing her memories, even before what happened today.
鈴葉がいてくれればみんな少しは安心できる。もちろんルカ子の家族の承認が必要だが。
お父さんはきっと大歓迎だと思います。
Oh, yes, he would! That was certainly true.
私も別に構わない。
僕も泊まってもいいのだぜ。
That would be a problem.
兄さんは帰りなさい。
しょぶーん。
Watching them talk made me think that things were slowly returning to normal. Luka and Kagari's expressions softened a little. Daru's usual antics had come in handy for once.
じゃあ頼んだぞ。何かあったらすぐに連絡してくれ。
わかりました。
Daru and I left Kagari to the two of them and headed back to the lab.
なあ、あれ、本当に起きたことなんだよな。
あ
ドッキリとかじゃなくて現実なんだよな。
Oh god, I just had a memory of I just had a memory of the Mayuri. No, the curse. No, what ending was that? No, I think there was part of the Mayuri ending. It was one ending where, Mayuri collapsed and Daru's reaction. Oh, man. That reminded me of that scene about him freaking out after Mayuri's first death of a heart attack after, Kamima. Man, whenever I hear Daru say "can the camera," I can only think of that heartbreaking scene. Real. Yeah, that was real. I'd experienced it so many times before. Screams and the smell of gunpowder.
どうしたんオカリン。
すまない。安心したせいか気分が。
I'd been so focused on seeing everyone home safely that I hadn't had time to think about it. But with that done, the memories came flooding back. The memories of last July.
大丈夫。今は僕も一緒だからさ。なんならちょっと休む？
Daru is the bro that everyone needs. I could feel Daru's huge hand rubbing my back. Strangely, it made me feel a little better. Aww.
ありがとう。もう大丈夫だ。
You see, okay, this is one of the many reasons why Daru is my favorite character in Steins Gate. I'm fully honest here, actually. Daru is one of my favorite characters of this franchise.
無理すんなよ。
I started to walk toward the lab again, and Daru followed me, worried.
なあ、オカリン。やっぱさ、これもタイムマシン関係のことだよな。
ああ。
これもシュタインズゲートの選択とかいうやつ？
The choice of Steins Gate?
今思えば痛々しい響きだな。
オカリン。
Was it going to keep following me forever? No matter how much I tried to look away or run? I just wanted to live in peace. Was even that too much to ask now?
オカリン、肩貸してやるよ。
え？
まだふらついてるじゃん。ほれ。
大丈夫だよ。
いいから遠慮すんなって。
ダル。
ん？
お前キモいぞ。
Okabe!
最近のまともになったオカリンの方がキモいっつーの。
ありがとな。
気にすんな。
Man, their friendship is what people should aspire for. We're getting a Luka point of view! Luka Urushibaru was sad. Well, this is quite a way to begin their first story in this game. Wow, the first time we get Luka's point of view, we get this line as the first thing we see. He'd been sad for a long, long time. It had been a long time since he met Rentaro Okabe, become friends, and began to visit the Future Gadget Lab. Itaru Hashida, his classmate, Mary Shina, and the other lab members all treated him as a friend. That by itself made him happy. He was just an ordinary, shy boy, and they accepted him anyway. He was very grateful for that. But still, he'd always felt like he was being left out. He knew they were hiding something from him. That made him sad. But what made him sadder was that he couldn't bring himself to ask them about it.
寝ないの？
あまねさんこそ
まだ起きてたんですね。
いろいろ考えることがあってね。
そうですか。
Even Luka could tell that a lot meant she was thinking about what happened today. The New Year's party. The mysterious men who burst into the lab. They were holding guns. Not plastic model guns. Real guns. From Luka's perspective, it was a mystery how they even gotten them into Japan. But they were real anyway. They had real guns in their hands, and they pointed them at him and the others. It hadn't seemed real then, but now the very thought made him shiver. If any of them had squeezed their index fingers just a little, he, Luka, wouldn't be here right now. Kagari Shina moaned softly in her sleep. She must have been really tired after everything that had happened today. She had gone to sleep almost immediately after she laid down, and her short breaths had soon changed into moans. Was she dreaming of her mother? Even that didn't surprise Luka much. She'd started calling out that name in her sleep several days ago. Kagari Shina. Mayuri Shina. At first, he just thought it was a coincidence that they had the same last name. But... He almost spoke, then stopped. There was so much he wanted to ask, but couldn't. He wanted courage. Just a little. The courage to ask them to tell him. He reached under his pillow and felt something hard. It was a cheap toy sword, the kind you could buy at any store. But still, it was his treasure. He held the hilt tight.
聞いてもいいですか？
Come on, Luka!
何？
Suzaha sat up and looked straight at him. He was only barely able to stop himself from looking away. If he did, he wouldn't be able to ask anything. He touched the toy sword once more, and slowly opened his mouth to speak.
あまねさんはどうして岡部さんのことオカリンおじさんって呼ぶんですか？
Yes, Luka!
どうしてまゆりちゃんのことまゆ姉さんって呼ぶんですか？どうしてフェイリスさんのことルミ姉さんって呼ぶんですか？僕のことルカ兄さんって呼ぶんですか？まゆりママってまゆりちゃんのことですよね。どうしてかがりさんがまゆりママなんて言うんですか？
Come on, just tell her, Suzaha!
私の言えた義理じゃないってことは分かってる。でも知らない方がいいと思う。
Just tell him! Just tell Luka, Suzaha! Just tell him!
そうやって僕はまた蚊帳の外なんですか？僕だって知りたいです。僕だって皆さんと同じ悩みを共有したいんです。
ルカ兄さん、
教えてもらえませんか？
She looked him straight in the eye for a moment, silently. Luka simply waited.
オカリンおじさんがさ、ルカ兄さんに事情を言わない理由、私、なんとなくわかる気がするんだ。
理由ですか？
ルカ兄さんには純粋にこの世界の人でいてほしいんだよ。ルカ兄さんだけは今という時間の存在でいてほしいんだ。それがオカリンおじさんの救いなんだ。
僕が救い。
ああ、
そんな。
Now that she told him that, he couldn't ask any more questions. Did Rintaro Okabe really think that? He didn't even know. In the end, he would never know anything. And that only made him sadder. Okabe, you're being a fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say this, but that's pulling a fuck right now. You're being an absolute fuck right now, Okabe. I'm gonna be the one to say this. You're being a fuck, Okabe. Yes, I know that you want to keep Luka in the regular world so that he doesn't know anything of what's going to happen, but Luka wants to help you by doing what he can do best, instead of doing what you think he can do best, Okabe. So you're a fuck, Okabe, for letting Lukako, for making Lukako not be a part of everything. I'm sorry, Okabe, but you are a fuck. Because Luka wants to help, but you're preventing him from helping. Yes, you are, in a sense, being helped by Luka not knowing, but Luka's not happy with the direction everything's going. Luka wants to know what's going on so that he can know how to help you, Okabe. So, Okabe, you're a fuck.
Okay.